What's up? So I'm gonna try and do this a little bit quicker because I don't want to spend way too much time on this. Although I'm loving doing this stupid little pillow, but I honestly want to get to the head. So let me see. Just a little more of the shadow part on the left, and then we'll get to her face and we'll see how that goes. Would you ever do collaborative works? Um, yeah, I guess, if it made sense, yeah. I wouldn't know how to, I think the only time I've done those, I think they were done in school. So I don't think I've done any sort of work like that for many, many years. It just hasn't, um, I don't think I've had either the chance to do anything like that or the inclination to do it, honestly. Um, but I don't see, in many ways, I just, I think the way I see paintings is not just the ability to execute something in paint and to just make, an interesting painting. It actually has to do with myself, but not myself as in being like super cryptic and saying this is just about me and you have nothing to do with this. No, but this is about my understanding as a human being of my own life, and of course it's my own life in the context of sharing it with not only people but with just every kind of being of this planet, and in that sense I've always kind of felt that it's a very not selfish journey, but it's a very kind of it's a self-centered journey, and maybe that's maybe some people can find problems with that. Maybe they find it limiting, but like I said, I just haven't found a place or a reason to work with someone else that it doesn't mean that I wouldn't be able to share like a viewpoint with that person. It's just that I kind of view painting as something different. Instead of doing let's say like a project, like a painting project that would involve just painting with somebody else. I don't know. Is it against the rules if you paint only with four colors? No, of course not. What rules? Like the painting police is going to storm through your door and it's like, put your hands up. What are you doing? The fuck are you doing? Are you crazy? 4 colors? What's going on here? Get him out. Take him. Lock him up. No, you can paint. I'm sorry, that was a dumb way to answer. No, you can obviously paint. You can paint with as little colors or as many as you want. There's nothing telling you that you can't. Hopefully, the reason of doing so is a legitimate one, and you want to either kind of restrain your choices so you can learn from your palette, or perhaps you just kind of feel comfortable with very little, and you just acknowledge that you can say more with less, and that's totally fine. And even if you use like 4 colors, you just want to use those 4 colors and create a very, very kind of strong relationship between you and them and those four colors. I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. I actually am more, I would side more with that philosophy, to know something very deeply, to understand something very deeply, instead of having just this this ability to paint with color just because we have money. I mean, that's the only reason, because we can buy color. That's about it. That's the only limitation that we would have. We paint with a lot of color just because we can buy color. That's about it. There's no there's no inherent value in just saying we can paint with a lot of color. We can just buy it from the store, but doesn't mean we can use it well. Doesn't mean that we know what color is doing. It's just that it kind of just says, I went to the store and I bought this color because I thought it was pretty, and that's about it. So no, not at all. In fact, if I would have to suggest something, it would be just initially use as little color as you can, and just become, just familiarize yourself with all the possibilities that very little color can give you. And that will begin to teach you that'll teach you more about painting than anything else you'll ever do. Because the core of painting is not just putting a lot of color on top, just because it's available to you. One of the fundamental values of painting has to do with creating relationships within your painting. And if you think about the painters in the 15th and 16th, 17th century, not 15th maybe, but yeah, well maybe, they had very, very few color choices, very, very few, very limited palette. I mean, it was on the one part, it was on the one hand, it was very costly to get some colors, and in the other, it was just they didn't have as many hues available to them as we have nowadays, or variations of those hues. So those people, the people that first had to figure out painting, they were doing incredible things because they didn't, the precise reason was because they didn't have all the choices that we do. They had to work things out with the little things that they had, with the little choices that they had. And that's what's amazing about, Baroque painting, for example. It's just that the degree of how far they could push a palette that was very, very limited at its core. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Granted, there are obviously limitations when you work within very small palettes, very restricted palettes. But what they were able to do was just remarkable. So I do think that lesson can't be kind of easily forgotten. It has to be at the core of what we do. So yeah, I would say just paint with those four colors. Paint with less if you want. If you understand that the paintings that you're doing are, you're not just painting them to make nice paintings, beautiful paintings. You're painting them to learn about painting itself, but to learn about yourself also. Then there's no pressure in there. There's no, there's no expectancy. There's you're just doing this not because you want to make this beautiful painting. You don't have the expectation of making, or the pressure of making this beautiful painting. You're doing it because you want to learn from from your paint. You want to really kind of have your palette teach you how, you know, these colors behave when they are in a context where they have to make really very kind of intimate relationships between each one of them, so that in order to kind of understand the range of your palette, the true range of your palette. So, anyways, I ended up doing the whole damn pillow. I wasn't expecting that, but here I am painting the pillow still. Or blocking in. Like, I really want to give this a little, like, I mean, it's kind of fine now, but I really want to give it like a soft, like a very soft quality, or like that very ambiguous quality that pillows have, that they can feel like there's structure to them, but there's softness. I don't know. That's always awesome. That's why those, you know, there's no one in particular, but the people, the sculptors that will do like pillows in marble or in stone, any other stone, they, you know, it's such an amazing kind of image, just seeing how beautiful the nature of the object kind of has, you know, it shares kind of these values with the materials that it was done, but it's also very foreign to the to it being kind of represented as something that is or from something that is so kind of solid and strong. So, anyways, that's my love for pillows, actually, because I've done like tons of paintings with pillows, actually. So I'm very attracted to them, and that's probably one of the reasons. Okay, so that's kind of good. Let's see. Cool. What advice can you give to young artists? You know, one could say I'm a young artist, so is this pre-recorded? No, Lou, it's not. What's up, Lou? Los comentarios están cogiendo encima de la pintura. Yo sé, es que es difícil. Este formato vertical de Instagram es re mamón por eso. Pues, para hacer una pintura vertical, la chimba, pero si yo estoy trabajando algo así, horizontal, no funciona muy bien. I'll show you guys. Whoa, that's glaring. That's a lot of medium, see? Look at that glare. Because I have a lamp here that kind of fills light. But let's see if that can focus well. We're going to get to that phase, but I'm going for all of that right now. Are you painting from your head? No, I wish I could paint this from my head. No, not that good. Or, you know, or my imagination is not that intricate. I can't really understand like subject matter that well. I mean, there's people that can do it, but not me, honestly. Okay, let's get to that. Let's get to the face, and we'll see how far we can kind of take it. My palette is terrible, but I can kind of work within those colors also, maybe. And even if they kind of gray out, I feel that would be kind of cool, because that's sort of what I'm looking for also. So let's see how we do. In the actual image, this is darker. The shadow area is darker. I don't know if I want to keep that, but we'll see. I'll try to shift it, because I just want, again, that kind of softness, and that your eye kind of wanders from kind of thinking of the quality of it being soft and then of hardness. I kind of want that in this image. So I think that a lighter value for that shadow part of her face would actually benefit me a little bit in trying to do that. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Did you take your own photos? Yeah, of course. Any strategies to break through plateaus? Oof, those are tough, aren't they? Yeah, that's really tough when you feel like, you're stuck and sometimes it's just the moment where there's almost nothing else to do but just remain stuck. You know what I've noticed, and maybe this is not the answer that you kind of want to hear, but it's probably the answer that is the closest one that I can give to you as an answer, or attempting to give it to you as an answer. I just feel that there are times when we are capable of understanding certain things, and then there are other times when we just don't. When we can just, you can hit your head against the wall as many times as you want, and you're not going to get it because maybe you're not ready to understand it, and that feels horrible. Because nobody wants to hear, you know what, it's just not the time to understand this. People want to hear, with enough perseverance, you'll get it in a very short time, or, just keep doing these, and you'll see that in a week you'll do this, and I actually kind of hate that. I actually really dislike when art is taught. There's so many. The reason for me wanting to do a YouTube video is that I actually really, really dislike when people say, draw the perfect hand, or understand the arm, or understand, or do a beautiful, flowers, or this is how to paint skies, because it just feels like such a almost finite equation. Like if you do this, and if you follow these steps, then you get it. And that's all there's to it. And the truth is, it isn't. Like, art is so much more complex than that. Or understanding yourself as an artist, or understanding the ambitions you have as an artist, or understanding the place you want to occupy as an artist. I mean, it's so hard. It's so much, like I said, much more complex than that. So when people kind of dumb it down to just learning how to do very specific things superficially, I hate it. And usually what it means, like what you refer to as plateauing, like what it means when we plateau is that we have come to understand certain things about what we want to do, but there are other things that escape us, and since our knowledge is limited, then we're kind of floating on this kind of level that feels very samey, and we just feel that there's just repetition and iteration of the kind of the very same things we've said time and time again. And what I would say is that those are times that will happen. Those are moments that will repeat themselves constantly. So don't be afraid of them. Kind of acknowledge them and know that that is a moment where you have to probably reflect upon what you're doing. And what I was going to say at the beginning is that many times in our life, in our career, you'll realize that there are moments where we are incredibly productive, and there are going to be moments where we have to almost kind of step back and learn or absorb what we have learned. And those moments usually take time. Like, don't be scared if you realize that it may take some time to absorb, the things we've, the information that you've collected or the experiences that you've gathered for some time. So just feel comfortable knowing that that's kind of like a very natural cycle of being an artist, and that there's almost no other way around it. You know, I wish it was as easy as saying, you know what, we can do and think and reflect at the same time. Like, we can paint and learn and reflect and do all at the same time and do everything at the same time. I don't know if that's true. I actually don't think that's true, if I have to be completely honest. And based on my own experience, but like sharing a ton of experiences with many painters throughout my years painting, I could tell you that's probably not true. That it is closer to what I'm kind of describing, that many times you have to sort of grant yourself that moment and not feel just a ton of pressure to do things and to make things, but just to acknowledge that you need some time so that the information that you've really worked hard to collect and the experiences that you've worked so hard to have, you know, they take time to sort of distill, and for you to learn from them, for you to extract all the information that's going to be useful eventually. So don't be scared. I usually feel that we tend to be so hard on ourselves because we want everything to happen at the same time, and we've grown so accustomed to listening how the purpose of our life is to be just effective, you know, that if we find ourselves at a point in our lives where we don't move as fast or we don't make as many paintings, we are horrified by them. We just kind of define them as, this is just us doing nothing. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like sometimes there's just laziness. Don't confuse laziness with just giving yourself the chance to learn from what you've done. But if you're constantly searching and if you're being true to that process, there's no reason to feel uncomfortable by being stuck in a moment where just things don't seem to be moving at the speed that you would want them to move. I would say that. So, your values are so great, it actually looks like light. That's cool, thank you, man. So I usually start with the shadow, and I build towards my light. I like that. I was taught to paint that way, so... And I kind of understand the reasoning behind wanting to paint this way, so I always favor that over painting from midtones or from light to dark, or yeah, there's no wrong answer there, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. But I actually favor light to dark, dark to light. I'm sorry. Hola Camila, la paleta. Y por eso es que de pronto es evidente que estos están re fríos. La paleta es... Voy a correrla un poquito y voy a correr esta lámpara otro poquito. Peor, brilló más. Sí, está brillando fatal. La paleta es hoy... I'm going to get rid of that lamp, maybe. La paleta es fría. Es blanco titanio, amarillo ocre, rojo alizarín, tierra de sombra natural y azul ultramarino. Entonces todo es muy frío, por eso es que de pronto la sombra que estoy haciendo es muy fría, pero es que quiero que todo tenga como una temperatura, quiero que toda la imagen tenga como esa temperatura, como más hacia el frío. Vamos a ver. Bueno, vamos a... So it's I'm doing the shadow, and right now I'm wishing I would have some cadmium, for example, to to have warmer moments, but I'm going to kind of sacrifice that those warms in order to have a more kind of harmonious, cooler palette. But everything in me is saying, oh, come on, just put a warm so that you can have like a nicer range. But I don't think I'm going to do it, to be honest. So shadows are going to be on the cooler side, and lights are also going to be cool. But that's totally fine. Like I am accepting that, so that's cool. How did you draw on wood? With color, I've been doing the underdrawings for these with color pencil, actually. And I had been fixing them with a fixative, but I ran out of fixative. So I put the I'm putting the what am I trying to say? The acrylic medium, I'm putting it right on top of the color pencil, and it does lift it up a bit. So I end up with a very faint kind of drawing. I took a picture of one yesterday and I posted it on my Instagram. But now that I put the acrylic binder on top, it actually it almost disappeared. I'll show you guys in a second, like what it looks like. But it kind of disappeared, so I got a little worried, but not really. Like, again, if you've followed me enough, you know that I always kind of state that one of the most important things that we have to do while painting, even if we have like a strong drawing, like something as particular as the one I have right now, is that we have to be always willing to draw while we paint. Always, always, always. Like the responsibility that we have with drawing doesn't end with that little kind of drawing that's underneath. We have to paint. We have to be willing to draw constantly. So, do you choose your palette based on color theory or on your own judgment of what feels right? I guess both. I would say both, like a mixture of both. But I am very aware of very kind of fundamental color theory. I don't necessarily try to do color harmonies. I don't necessarily try to find a place in my color wheel and say, okay, I'm going to work this painting within these harmonies. Or within these set values and try to fit them into a specific harmony. I'm very aware of that, but I think I'm also more prone to do something because it just feels close to what I intend to do. So that would be my actual answer. So it's a little bit of both. Like, I am obviously conscious of color theory. I know about it. I teach it. So I know that, but it doesn't condition my painting. I would just say that. Hola Javier, besos. Eso es una familia. ¿Va a adoptar a alguien, Javier? Me alegro. No sé qué es. Eso es un beso, una adopción y un signo de interrogación. Gracias, Javier. Muy querido, como siempre. Muy lindo. Bueno. Now I gotta paint light. Let's see. I'm gonna use like these rounds, and this is a small painting. Like, I'm painting. I don't know. It's about, what is that? 2 inches maybe. So, que si me das un hijo. Javier, otro día le explico cómo funcionan los hijos, cómo hacen los seres humanos para tener hijos, pero yo le tendría o que regalar uno de los míos, que no, creo que no, o alguno de nosotros dos tendría que tener un útero. Y usted es una diosa fantástica, pero creo que no tiene útero, Javier, entonces vamos a tener que encontrar otra forma de que yo le pueda dar un hijo, Javier, divino. Un hijo pintor. Además, queremos hacerle selección al niño. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the light. I'm probably gonna push some of the hues and some of the yeah, maybe a little bit more of the hues. So let's see what I end up doing, because I don't have, again, I have an idea, but I don't have a very clear idea. So that was comforting. But we'll see how that goes. I know that I want this to be kind of greener, like more purpley green. I mean, very, again, like temper expectations. I'm not gonna do a purple or a green, but just purpley, greeny when compared to the other colors. So we'll see how that goes. This is all just kind of variations of my primaries right now. What I'm doing is my primers being alizarin, ultramarine, and ochre, and yellow ochre. So I'm going to just do kind of very small variations of all those, and we'll see how that goes. Hola Nicolás, ya extrañaba los videos en vivo. Yo también, estaba muy triste de que estaba súper ocupado tratando de hacer 1000 cosas al tiempo y no había podido hacer esto, entonces estoy contento de poder hacerlos ahora otra vez. Pero pues me tocó hoy domingo, entonces en vez de jugar Fortnite con mi hijo, que me estaba llamando diciendo que si me ponía a jugar con él, me puse a pintar. O sea, sacrifiqué un digno momento de padre e hijo, que es jugar esa porquería de juego que está consumiendo a mi hijo totalmente, para estar con ustedes y pintar un rato. Vale la pena. A menos de que me quede hediondo y ahí sí, entonces me siento como un idiota. So, greener, sort of greener up there, purplier, warmer down the nose. And just like a nice, sort of cooler violet. I don't know, it's very nice. I'll try to mix that one on the other side. I haven't gone to the other side, but it's like a super nice color there. See how that goes. I'm going to probably lose my drawing a little bit on these eyes, but the drawing is so important for the tilt of the head, that it's going to be one of those things that you have to take your time. That was a terrible brushstroke. Fucking A. Anyways, Did you see that? That was me saying like, oh, I have to be kind of careful with the bleh. Okay. That wasn't that bad. Se reconoce tremendo todo bien, no, muchas gracias. No sé si talento, trabajo más bien. Laila Sar, Leila, Laila Leila. Hola Laila Leila. Let's see. Maybe I will go with kind of this kind of pinkish. Oof, I'm pushing a little bit that color, but it looks kind of cool. We'll see. Maybe a little more neutral. The thing with these paintings, like I want them all to be just slightly different from each other. The ones that I'm doing for the show, they're kind of, in a way, exercises in color, and I do hope that they can feel different. I mean, they're gonna feel close to each other because they're all 8x10s. They're all made on wood, oil on wood. So they are gonna feel like they're part of the same process. But I really want each painting to be like its own little universe, like that each one has the color relationships within each painting belong to that painting. And it's not just a palette that I'm going to repeat constantly throughout my paintings. So that's something that's kind of exciting for me when I paint. I always try to believe that every painting is like this kind of small window to a very particular kind of universe that has its own laws and its own sensibility. And it's hard because we risk doing such different paintings that they may end up just almost feeling like they belong to different painters. But I'm not really afraid of that, honestly. Like I'm always kind of hoping that my sensitivity will come through, and that they are all going to kind of belong to the same space. That there's something there that binds them, and that I don't have to work hard at trying to find that thing in order to connect them, but that just the fact that I'm the one who's painting them is doing that already. So we'll see. ¿Qué se puede hacer para perder el miedo a la pintura? Uf, eso es tan difícil. No sé, yo creo que la razón, o sea, la respuesta sería la más sencilla, y es solo hacerlo, y también ser consciente que lo que vamos a hacer naturalmente es siempre querer ser como tentativos cuando pintamos. Porque es que poner un color es de esas cosas que nos da pánico. Y no nos da pánico no porque o sea, el color en sí, la naturaleza del color, pues de susto, sino es como como el contexto de poner un color. Es decir, el color en últimas termina siendo es una decisión. Y eso es lo que nos da susto. Porque más allá de lo difícil que puede ser uno entender su paleta ya cuando estamos pintando, pues estamos diciendo, yo entiendo que digamos en este caso, en este momentico justo que estoy pintando la frente, decir, yo entiendo que este pedacito de frente en medio tono luz se traduce a este color. Y uno pone esa decisión y uno la toma, y muchas veces uno la toma y se ve absurdo, se ve ridículo, como lo que uno acaba de tratar de decir. Y es eso, el susto es que las decisiones que tomamos pues pueden evidenciarse como decisiones incorrectas muy rápidamente. Entonces, Pues lo único que diría es que no, la forma, a ver, no sé cuál sería la forma más fácil de deshacerse de eso, pero sí puedo decir con certeza que una forma que nos va a obstaculizar el que sintamos como confianza a la hora de pintar es si no tratamos nunca de ser como asertivos mientras pintamos. Si dilatamos como las oportunidades que tenemos de tomar decisiones y de decir con pintura cómo es que queremos eh, abordar la imagen, si desperdiciamos esas pocas decisiones esas pocas oportunidades, perdón, que tenemos, entonces como que lentamente estamos generando como un resguardo para nosotros mismos, como para justificar que no tenemos que tomar esas decisiones, como para uno sentirse cómodo con no tomar esas decisiones. Y lo ideal es tomarlas. Y pues si la embarramos y no pasa nada. Mucho del tiempo que yo invierto cuando estoy dando clase es en que las personas como que entiendan que cometer un error cuando uno está comenzando no es el fin del mundo. O sea, suena tontísimo decir eso, porque al final pues es una cosa que parece natural al proceso de aprendizaje, pero sí impresiona mucho que la gente tenga tanto susto a equivocarse. Tanto susto. Y yo no creo que esto sea una cuestión de pintura, sino como una cuestión de equivocarse como en la vida, con cualquier decisión que uno toma en la vida. Y no, toca ser como más amables con nosotros mismos y saber que, que pues embarrarla es natural al ser humano. Y más cuando uno está queriendo aprender. Entonces, solo dense la opción de errar y de aprender de esos errores y ya. No hay nada más natural ni más bonito que eso. Además, no están pasando cosas trágicas cuando la embarramos. O sea, yo siempre les digo, no se está muriendo alguien, no se muere un panda. O sea, la gente lo asume como que cada vez que la embarra va a haber una tragedia de unos niveles como inconmensurables. Y no, lo que termina pasando es que pues uno la embarró y ya. Y quedó feo. O sea, eso es lo más trágico, cuando queda feo. O sea, eso es lo peor que puede pasar, que una pintura está fea y ya. Pero pues muchas veces uno lo enmarca como si fuera una grandísima tragedia y pues no es así, ¿no? La realidad es que eso no es así. Siempre, sí, la pintura, como dice Alejandra, ¿qué hubo Alejandra? Es, es tan como bondadosa que uno siempre la puede arreglar, honestamente. Hay gente que piensa además como que no, ya, hediondo, toca matarla, eh, toca sacrificar esta pintura porque es lo peor que he hecho en mi vida. Y la realidad es que las pinturas honestamente son muy, ¿cómo se dice? Resilient. ¿Resilientes? No, eso es, sé que estoy inventando una palabra. Hediondo. ¿Alguien me busca si resiliente existe? ¿O eso es como el peor anglicismo que he dicho en mi vida? ¿Alguien sabe si esa palabra existe? Busquen ahí en bombas, ahí en... Mi instinto me diría que existe, pero yo no confío mucho en mi instinto, entonces... Estamos buscando. ¡Existe! ¡Uhú! Gracias. Gracias, Colombia. Campeón. Juepucha. Sabía. Voy a hacerme como el que sabía siempre. Siempre, siempre. Resiliencia existe. Entonces sería resiliente, de pronto. Resiliente, no. Resiliente. O bueno, no. Ay, pareidolia. Claro, claro, existe. Pues sí la uso todos los días, todos los días. Sí, claro, ya ahora haciéndonos todos los lectores más increíbles acá del mundo. Muchas veces en el arte los errores, claro, claro. Es un tema de orgullo, claro, es puro, puro ego. Es una manifestación absoluta de nuestro ego. No hay nada, nada que hacer. No hay nada que hacer. La inseguridad que sentimos cuando nos damos cuenta que desconocemos algo es, es agobiante. O sea, eso puede hasta congelarlo a uno. Eh, pero yo creo que ese primer paso, como de sentirse humilde, y les voy a decir la verdad, y yo creo que lo he dicho mil veces, o sea, no es el sentirse humilde cuando uno va a comenzar, o sea, en, en la pintura es sentirse humilde siempre, o sea, en cualquier momento la pintura puede como devolvérsele a uno y si uno no como la ha cuidado y la alimenta y la quiere todo el tiempo, en cualquier instante se le devuelve a uno todo. O sea, uno apenas empieza a coger confianza y a jurar que cree que ya entendió todo y que ya no toca estudiar más o ya no hay como campo más para aprender, que solo hay como oportunidades de hacer. Uf, ahí es donde cualquiera, o sea, de los lenguajes del arte nos traiciona muchísimo. La pintura, el dibujo, por ejemplo, el dibujo es terrible. El dibujo es lo más, qué pena, pero el dibujo es lo más hijueputa que hay en la vida. Porque es que si uno deja de dibujar, así sea un mes, el dibujo se la cobra a uno, se la cobra durísimo. Ugh, es detestable, es como no tiene compasión el dibujo, pero pues así es. Entonces, este tipo de maneras de decir, o sea, en pintura, en dibujo, si uno no las quiere, las alimenta, estoy hablando como si fuera una gallina o como si fuera una planta, no sé, pero no, me gustó más como imaginármela como una gallina. Pero si uno no la alimenta, pues no hay nada, o sea, no hay nada que hacer, no nos va a dar nada. Una gallina. ¿Algún día vendrás a Buenos Aires? Ya he ido a Buenos Aires, entonces algún día volveré a Buenos Aires. Esa es otra manera de preguntarlo. Pero he ido solo para como me veo yo normalmente en cualquier sitio al que voy, que es como un turista, la verdad. Yo creo que yo me veo siempre como un turista. Eh, pero si me invitan a hacer un taller, yo feliz. Estoy ya reocupado para este año, para el próximo, y estoy comenzando a cuadrar mis talleres de el 2020. Porque es que tampoco tiene sentido uno hacer talleres todos los meses, digamos, pero sí estoy ya con agenda bastante copada. Por ejemplo, el próximo año, por ejemplo, ya no puedo dar más talleres. Ya no se puede. La única oportunidad real que tenemos es pintar mientras esté eso. How much of the painting does how much of the painting does the model occupy? Um, I'm not I'm not sure about I don't know if I understand the question correctly. Uh, how much of the painting process that painting from a model should occupy, or how much does the model in this actual painting occupy? I don't know if I understand it very well. I'm sorry. If it's about the relevance of painting from the model, I am the biggest sort of proponent of always working from the model. Always, always, always. It's the best. way to learn. It's the quickest way to learn. It's the most painful way to learn. But it's a great way to understand painting. By far, it's probably the best way to understand painting. And so if you're speaking about the importance of painting from the model, then I would say it is of the highest importance. If you're speaking about how much does the model or of my subject matter, how much does it occupy in this painting? I guess about 30%, no, maybe less of this painting, because she's like way down the bottom of the image. So I kind of wanted that. I wanted that to be not totally bottom heavy, but just to have like a kind of like a strange balance between her and this big pillow that's surrounding her, that's kind of enveloping her in the painting composition wise. Oh yeah, so this is a very small painting. I mean, look at my hand. It's like an 8x10 painting. So I don't know, what is this, 3 inches maybe? But I wanted it to be heavy up top in the sense that there's this big ass shape that's going to be light. It's probably going to be lighter. The lights in here are going to be lighter than any of the lights in her. And then it kind of she actually kind of ends up dissolving into the whole background. And so, like I said from the beginning, it's going to kind of feel like this floating little head. And I kind of wanted that. That was the whole point of pushing her down, just having this very soft shape, but just this soft shape pushing her down, kind of almost injecting kind of gravity towards that head, towards the bottom. And I thought it would be cool. I thought it would be kind of cool to do that. So yeah, it's just a very small painting. It's a kind of tight composition. I actually wanted the tension, that bit of, I could have given it more air. I could have given the pillow more air, and that would have been fine too. But I really wanted to have this soft shape feel almost menacing, and that it's kind of pushing her down. And I thought that if I kind of gave that a bit of tension there, that it's almost going towards the edge of the painting, that it would look kind of cool, that it would make sense. So hopefully that'll come through in the end. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's see. I'm probably, just because of time constraints, I'm probably gonna do this one session, and then we'll have to leave the rest of the painting for some other day. And I promise I'll try and finish it on live sessions too, and I'll show you how I develop it. But today, I think as soon as this one's done, I have to stop. Just to give you guys a heads up. Very sad, but yep, that's the time we have. So. ¿Dónde van a hacer tus próximos talleres? A ver, este año, ahorita en septiembre me voy a Italia, en octubre me voy a Estados Unidos y en finales de noviembre voy a estar en España, en Madrid. Después, en febrero, voy a estar otra vez en Estados Unidos y creo que en julio estoy en Sudáfrica y después estoy en Estados Unidos otra vez y después estoy otra vez en Estados Unidos. en dos, pues es que Estados Unidos es absolutamente gigante, entonces voy a estar como en distintas costas. Entonces voy a estar como abajo al este centro y después me invitaron de la costa oeste. Entonces vamos a hacer todo eso. Pero es chévere, me mantengo ocupado, muy agradecido de tener la oportunidad de trabajar todo el tiempo. Entonces, chévere. ¿Dónde van a ser tus próximos talleres? La volví a leer. Gracias y saludos a Francia y felicitaciones por ser campeones del mundial. Merecido, muy merecido. Jugaron muy bien, tienen un futuro increíble. No sé si sea francés o si es colombiano en francés o latino en francés. En francés en Francia, pero bueno, no sobra la felicitación. ¿Qué piensas del acrílico? ¿Te gusta? A mí no, no me gusta, pero no quiere decir que no sea una, una, un tipo de pintura, pues, que pueda ser muy atractivo y que obviamente tenga otras posibilidades muy chéveres. No, a mí no, porque, no sé, quizás porque aprendí a pintar en óleo, me costó muchísimo trabajo pintar en óleo, le cogí muchísimo cariño y al óleo le veo como unas posibilidades, pues, gigantes, o sea, yo no le entiendo como limitaciones al óleo. Y yo no creería tampoco que, o sea, si digo eso no quiere decir que el acrílico las tenga. Hay unas cuestiones técnicas que sí me disgustan muchísimo y nunca he podido como acostumbrarme a ellas. Y pues ya lo he dicho muchas veces, pero es que el acrílico cambia de tono y cambia de saturación cuando seca. Entonces eso me fastidia mucho, muchísimo. Eh, y, y a mí me gusta que si pongo algo, pues que quede lo que quise decir. O sea, si me esforcé harto por mezclar algo y ponerlo, pues como que me da bronca que después eso me cambie solo porque la naturaleza del color hace que cambie. Pero por ejemplo, James Jean usa acrílico increíble, entonces quizás mi, mi qué, mi posición, mi, mi posición frente al acrílico no es más sino algo que nace un poco de mi ignorancia frente al acrílico también, porque nunca le he dado como la oportunidad ¿de qué? O sea, nunca me he dado la oportunidad de trabajarlo como con suficiente tiempo y compromiso. Pero no sé, no sé. Para mí, si me mostraran pinturas, como toda una serie de pinturas, todas hechas en acrílico, en óleo, eh, y me pusieran a escoger, yo creo que inevitablemente, sin saber incluso, lo que pasa es que uno ya puede más o menos intuir en qué están hechas, pero sin saber en qué están hechas, yo creo que siempre gravitaría hacia las que son ¿en qué? En óleo, la verdad. Entonces,